Sometimes life places good people in the worst situations, not because they deserve to suffer, but because life wants to teach them to fight, to become stronger, to discover who they really are. This is the story of Maria, a simple, hard-working woman who fought against all odds to survive. Every day, Maria woke up before sunrise, pushed an old rusty cart, and walked through the busy streets collecting empty cans. While others judged her from the outside, inside she carried something precious: hope. Hope for a better life, hope for dignity, hope for a future where she would never have to bow her head in shame again. But reality was harsh. People stared at her with disgust. Some crossed the street to avoid her. Others laughed, made jokes, and whispered cruel words behind her back. Yet Maria kept going, because for her, giving up was not an option. One afternoon, exhausted from the heat and hunger, Maria approached a bar to pick up some empty cans. That's when it happened. A man in an expensive suit walked out with a group of friends. He saw her and smirked, a look of superiority in his eyes. And then, with a loud voice for everyone to hear, he started mocking her. "Look at this, guys, the trash collector is back. What's the matter? Looking for food now?" His friends laughed loudly, pointing at her. Maria froze. She felt her heart breaking into pieces, but she stayed silent. The man grabbed a can of beer, drank the last sip, and threw it at her feet. "Here, take this too. Maybe you'll be able to buy a piece of bread if you work hard enough." His friends laughed even harder. Maria bent down, picked up the can, and walked away without saying a word. Her hands were shaking, her eyes filled with tears. That day, Maria felt the deepest pain. But in that pain, something powerful was born. A voice inside her said, "This will not be my life forever. One day I will rise. One day I will prove that poverty is not destiny. It's just a phase." From that day forward, Maria worked harder than ever. She collected cans during the day, cleaned houses at night, and still found time to study. She read books about recycling, business, and entrepreneurship. She saved every single coin, went without food just to put money aside. Many would have quit, many would have given up, but not Maria. Because when someone has a dream and the courage to fight for it, nothing is impossible. Years went by. After endless days of sacrifice, Maria finally managed to rent a small warehouse. It was old and empty, but for her it was a palace. With the little money she had, she bought second-hand tools and hired 2 workers. That was the birth of her recycling business. The beginning was hard, very hard. There were days when she didn't know if she would make it through, but she never stopped. Every client was a victory. Every contract signed was a step closer to her dream. Slowly, the business grew, and as it grew, so did Maria. The woman who once was humiliated on the streets now became the proud owner of one of the largest recycling companies in the region. Her company became a symbol of sustainability and social impact. She created jobs for hundreds of people, many of whom were once in the same situation she had been in. Maria became a millionaire, but she never lost her humility. She never forgot the pain that shaped her. And then one day, life brought her full circle. Maria was in her office when her secretary came in and said, "There's a candidate waiting for a job interview." Maria nodded and said, "Send him in." The door opened, and a man walked in carrying a folder. He looked nervous, tired, broken. When he raised his eyes and saw Maria, he froze. It was him, the same man who had mocked her years ago. He stuttered, "Maria, is that really you? Are you the owner here?" Maria looked at him calmly and replied, "Yes, life has a funny way of turning things around, doesn't it? Please sit down." He sat, sweating, his hands trembling. Then he spoke. I want to apologize for what I did to you in the past. I was wrong, I was stupid. Today I'm unemployed. I have a family to feed. I need this job." Maria looked at him in silence for a few seconds, remembering everything. Then she said, "I've learned that forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It means freeing your heart from what hurts. I'm going to give you this job, not because you deserve it, but because I believe people can change. But understand this, in this company everyone is equal, and respect is not optional." The man lowered his head, tears filling his eyes. Maria signed the papers and handed them to him. And in that moment, life taught its greatest lesson. Never ever humiliate someone because of their circumstances. The person you look down on today might be the same person who helps you tomorrow. Maria didn't do it for revenge. She didn't do it to feel superior. She did it because she had a good heart, Because she knew hate destroys while kindness builds. She chose forgiveness. Years passed after that day. Maria's life had transformed beyond her wildest dreams. Her company became one of the largest recycling enterprises in the entire country. She built something huge, something powerful. But for Maria, success was never just about money. She remembered the cold nights, the hunger, the humiliation, and she made a promise to herself. If I ever rise, I will never rise alone. I will lift others with me. Today, Maria dedicates her life to helping others. She launched social programs to give opportunities to people living on the streets, just like she once did. She built a training center where men and women could learn new skills, find stable jobs, and regain their dignity. Because Maria believes that what changes a life is not charity, but opportunity. Every week, Maria visits poor communities herself. She doesn't just send money or send someone else. She goes. She listens to their stories. She gives hope where there is none. And most importantly, she offers chances, real chances, to rebuild lives. One day, she received a call about a homeless family with 2 little kids living under a bridge. Maria didn't hesitate. She filled her car with food, clothes, and drove straight there. When she arrived, she saw them sitting on pieces of cardboard, holding their children close to protect them from the cold. Maria knelt down, smiled, and said, "I'm here to help you." She gave them food, clothes, and asked, "Would you like a job? A real chance to change your life?" The couple broke down in tears. They said no one had ever cared for them before. Maria hugged them and whispered, "You are not alone anymore." Days later, that family had a home. The parents had jobs in her company. The children were in school. Maria didn't just change their lives, she changed their future. But she didn't stop there. Maria created a foundation for women who suffered violence and abandonment. At her shelter, they received psychological support, professional training, and job opportunities. Maria knows that when you empower a woman, you empower an entire family. Her story spread. People wanted to hear her speak. She started giving lectures to thousands, sharing her journey from humiliation to success. Every time she finished, the audience stood up and applauded through tears. And she always said the same thing: "I am not special. I just never gave up." Maria also began investing in education, offering scholarships for poor students who dreamed of a better life, because she knows education is the most powerful tool to change the world. And what about the man who once humiliated her? He still works at her company, but he's not the same person anymore. He learned his lesson. He treats everyone with respect now. One day he told her, "Maria, you didn't just change your life, you changed mine." Years later, Maria received a national award as Businesswoman of the Year. Standing on stage holding the trophy, she said, "This award is not mine. It belongs to every person who believed in me, to every family who now has a home, to every worker who was once hopeless. Success means nothing if you can't share it. Real success is lifting others as you climb." Her words echoed through the room. Everyone stood, clapping, crying. And Maria looked up to the sky and whispered a silent thank you for never letting pain turn her heart cold. Maria could have let bitterness consume her. She could have become angry, vengeful, but she chose kindness. She chose to be light in a world that often feels dark. Her story is a powerful reminder: never underestimate anyone. Never judge someone for the season of life they're in, because life changes, circumstances change, and what seems small today can become extraordinary tomorrow. If you're struggling right now, remember this: don't give up. Every tear you cry can be fuel. Every humiliation can be motivation. One day your victory will silence every voice that doubted you. And when that day comes, don't forget to help others rise too, because that's what makes life truly worth living. Life has a way of surprising us. The person you see struggling today might become the one who inspires you tomorrow. That's why we should never judge, never humiliate, never underestimate anyone, because success is not about where you start, it's about where you decide to go. Maria's story reminds us of something powerful. Pain can break you or it can build you. The choice is yours. When life knocks you down, you can stay there, or you can rise stronger than ever. Every challenge you face is shaping you for something greater. But true greatness isn't just reaching the top, it's extending your hand to lift others up. Because in the end, what gives meaning to success is sharing it. So respect people, believe in yourself, and remember, circumstances don't define your destiny. Your attitude does. Life is like a wheel. Today you might be at the bottom, but with courage and determination, tomorrow you can be on top.